defensive back extraordinaire for your Seattle Seahawks, Riq Woolen. Riq, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Just a little tired, but other than that, I'm doing good.
Yeah, you're tired probably because they had you running around. I tell you what, man, I saw that you had two passes defense, but it looked like more than that to me. My eyes told me you were like all over the receivers yesterday. How did you feel about the way you played?
Sure, honestly, I was out there having fun, man, taking a play at a time, and sure, I thought I had more pass defense as well, but hey, I don't know. I'm just out there having fun, and I'm just glad I got to help my team win.
Hey, it's really different playing at corner, right? I mean, you're kind of on blast. I think it's the toughest position to play on the field, other than playing quarterback. But yeah, it's really I think it's the toughest job in the NFL. Do you feel like that?
Oh, yeah, it is, but it's a lot of things that can make it easy, especially if you just, buy in and just take the time and understanding of what you got to do and what it takes to play in whatever defense you're in. But it is one of the hardest positions, though, for real.
How fun was that yesterday? You get a couple of scores on defense, and you guys were celebrating, and that must have been a blast. You guys been looking for something like that for a long time.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, we needed that, man. It was a good feeling, and it's pretty crazy because it was, like, kind of in the same fashion. Well, it was, the same players, and the same type of sack, it seemed like. But it was pretty crazy, and it was an exciting feeling, especially because it helped us out as a team, gave offense a good break, and also it just helps us go out there and get some more reps in, too, because after we score, we got to go right back out there.
Hey, Riq, what's the feeling on the team right now? Like how you guys are? I know you just take them a week at a time, and probably last week you didn't know you were playing the Rams this week, but that's just kind of
Yeah.
how it goes. But as far as the feeling on the team, are you guys starting to feel it because you're being picked as like the best team in the NFL by a lot of different media sources? I know that doesn't necessarily mean much to you, but what about how what's the feeling like on the team? Do you guys feel like you're when you look around, you look like, hey, we're the best team in the NFL.
Oh, yeah, we most definitely feel like it. I mean, we prepare like it, we practice like it, and shoot, that's something we've been working on since camp and since Coach Mike got here. That was one of our goals, and as we continue to strive to continue to be the best we can and be the best team, that is something we strive to be. And as these games go by, we just gonna keep stacking them, and as the season go by, we keep stacking them, and we just keep moving into the right direction.
Hey, Riq, the tight end for the Cardinals, really talented guy, Trey McBride, and he had a lot of catches yesterday. And I know you're not charged with covering him, and a lot of times, but I'm just curious when you look at a guy like that on film, especially tight ends are kind of fascinating to me because they're big dudes, and it's not like they're speed burners, but if they run the right routes and got good hands, yeah, it just seems like that's a difficult position if they have a really good one. Tell us about Trey McBride.
Oh, yeah, he's a great player, man. They're going to try to get it to him, and that's one of their main guys. To be able to play a factor versus him, and give him a challenge and slow him down as a defense is pretty cool. And a player like him. He's gonna get his chances and he's gonna win some and lose some, but it isn't a player game; it's a team game. So I'm just happy to be on the defense and a great defense to be able to capitalize and slow down players.
Hey, Riq, tell us about your relationship with Mike Macdonald because he's during the off season he said a lot of really good things about you, and then just recently talking about how well you've been playing and just encouraging you and all of that stuff. Tell us about your bond with Mike Macdonald, the head coach.
Oh, yeah, everything been pretty cool. Me and him got a pretty interesting relationship, but he always looks out for the best, and he's always making sure he puts us in the right positions. And being able to play in the defense for like his and play for a coach like him, it's pretty cool because it shows that you can play in any defense, in any system, or for any coach, just because the toughness and the type of style of coaching he is. But literally, he's a great coach, and playing for him is a lot of fun.
Hey, tell us about your new teammate Rashid Shaheed, and just from a defensive back standpoint, when you see him in practice, and I don't know if you've seen him on film, but well, actually you have because you guys played him earlier. But
Yeah.
yeah, tell us what he brings to the team.
He brings a lot to the team. You know, he's a man of many tangibles. He can play special teams. He can play on offense, and he can do many things on offense as well. So adding him to the team is pretty cool. You know, and his speed is something that you can't coach or teach, and him being paired up with Jackson, Torrey, and Cooper, is pretty cool. You know, those are some hard guys to stop, and having them all together and feeding off each other, and him adding his abilities to the offense is going to be pretty cool. And as you seen in the game yesterday, we featured him in a couple things, and it was pretty cool to get the ball in his hands. And I know it felt good for him, to start getting acclimated and feeling like he's part of the team. He's part of our brotherhood, and so I'm happy to have him.
Hey, tell us about your duties out there when it's a run, Riq. And I know that's really important. I think you play the run well. And just tell us, how much of that part of your game, how much pride do you take in stopping the run?
True, I take a good amount, man. I feel like as a corner in this league, you got to be able to tackle, and even though it's a tough assignment, especially for a cornerback, you at least got to go out there and put the effort in and try, and that's what I do. I just go out there and put effort in, try, practice, making sure I, take the right steps, right techniques and stuff like that, just so I can be able to put myself in good positions when it's time to tackle. Throughout these years, throughout the seasons, it's pretty crazy. Just seeing the growth of, that part of my game, and, I feel like it's pretty cool because I took pride in it and I see the way it's paying off.
This is probably a question I asked you your rookie year, Riq, but you played receiver for a while at UTSA, and how much does that, a lot of times when guys switch over, you kind of bring some of the knowledge and things of, having played receiver, how much does that help you as a corner, as a cover corner?
It helps out a good amount just because you can get a feel for routes. You can get an understanding for why they run routes certain ways and why they release in certain ways and stuff like that. So that part of the game for sure helps, especially when it comes to looking at formations and being able to analyze the formation and getting a certain type of release from the receiver. You can get a good idea of what routes they can run.
Hey, Riq, when you look around when you're looking at film for an opponent that's coming up and you're watching other corners around the league, has anybody ever – I always had like a couple of linebackers that I loved watching that they were just, they were good, and I try to pick things up from them. But anybody like that for you in the NFL?
No, I mean, I watch other corners, but it ain't like, nothing crazy. I just watch myself a lot, I feel like – that's one thing that, that's what I do. I feel like I got to analyze myself, and of course I see other corners when we watch other teams, because we got to watch other receivers. So I'll just learn different stuff from them whenever I watch the receiver I'm going against. But other than that, I just really watch a lot of myself, critique myself a lot, so that way I can have an understanding of why I did things and how to do it and how I can do stuff better.
What are you doing in your downtime? I know there's not a lot of downtime, once the season starts, but how do you relax after a game?
Sure. My family here, just go out to eat with them, then chill, watch the game a little bit on my iPad. Other than that, play the game, watch TV, and then find food to eat, cool food spots in Seattle.
Yeah. When you go out to dinner, do people recognize you?
Sometimes it just depends for real, but nothing crazy.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it, and good win, man. Just a complete win for you guys. Congratulations.
Yeah, yes, sir. No, I appreciate it, man. We got to keep stacking. It's a lot of fun.